Wait, what was the egg fight thing?
So let me ask you this question. At that time, Jewish day school was not as sort of popular as an option as it is today and has been across the denomination. So what motivated your parents?
What motivated our parents?
Especially from Avenue Z. You came from Avenue Z.
We lived with our aunt and uncles. My uncle was Zvi Sharfstein of Shiloh Publishing and Theological Seminary. So I don't think there was much of it.
There were no options there.
I thought it was Visser Prison.
What you call what?
Visser prison. Visser prison.
When you, Mr. Belfort, when you came to Yeshiva Flatbush, did you feel that you were coming to a superior type of school?
He was little.
Like 8th grade.
You know,
He threw eggs off the roof. No, really.
How did you
well, the superior school. We lived right across. The bus drops off right across the street from St. Mark's Church, and there were a bunch of Italian kids used to wait right at the bus stop, and it was a challenge to see if I could run faster home or did I think I was coming from the superior? Well, it had its problems.
Did they chase you, David? Did they chase you?
What?
The Catholic kids, did they chase you from the bus?
No.
Only Martin?
Wait. Did you pay the Catholic kids to chase Martin from the bus?
They did it for nothing. Just suggested. But many mortal battles were fought on this field. Here, all the injuries, minor.
Now, they used to have, back here, they had purchased a private dwelling where they were going to convert into a building for the future, and they used to hold classes in the bedrooms or whatever rooms. The classes were small, and it was wild in those days. I mean, the discipline was different than today.
So you also remember having classes in the Yad Yisrael building?
I know it. We had a graduation in the shul.
In the main, which is a national landmark.
Maybe there were classes in there. I don't have many memories. Do you remember having classes in the young
Absolutely. Well, you can.
I met 5 years later, yeah.
Pinky Weiss was there.
Pinky Weiss, yeah.
Were you in touch with any of the faculty? So you remember Rabbi Braverman? Anyone else from the faculty that you remember that you had any connection with?
Birnbaum was the librarian. Nathanson was the music teacher. Weiss with the bar mitzvah, with the ruler, the knuckles.
I'm interested in the corporal punishment. Actually, that's what you got hit with the ruler on the roof. They really did. What about the
absolutely regular, daily basis. When I went to high school, I was waiting for it.
Sorry?
That's corporal punishment.
The boys were crying.
My son went here.
Oh, really? Well, I got hit in the 60s.
You did?
Sure, in the 60s we got hit.
Only for the boys.
The boys, yeah. No, and the knuckles was also, that you go like this with your fingers and then you get the ruler on the hand.
Even in the English department, you know,
really?
Most of the Hebrew teachers were Europeans at that time.
Oh, they were?
Yes.
So what, I'm sorry, this was in the 40s, these were Holocaust survivors? Who?
No, I think they were pre-Holocaust, the teachers. But they were mostly Europeans, the Hebrew teachers. The English teachers, however, Zilber and Weinstein, they weren't adverse to corporal punishment either.
What were the requirements? Yeshiva Flatbush always, Seth, what would the requirements for someone to teach here? What did you need to have?
So it's actually, this is actually a generational shift, because at that time, when you went to school here, there weren't really formal teacher training for Jewish studies teachers in the United States. You know, Benderly was just starting to put in the formal teaching. So if you had some sort of education in primarily in Eastern Europe, you taught. Now our teachers come from Ivy League schools, and they were dedicated, Jewish studies.
When I started here, they were just switching sort of from Ashkenazi to Sephardi,
Right.
and even that transition was difficult.
So now, not only the language, but when I went to school here, just class of 76, we were 80% Ashkenaz and 20% Sephardic. When you were in terms of populations, it was probably 95%. There were already some Syrian migrations into Flatbush, but your school was probably 95% Ashkenaz. Now we're 80% Sephardic, 85% Sephardic, and 15 to 20% Ashkenaz in Yeshiva Flatbush. So it's been a shift over.
Is that in the entire?
So it's really a demographic thing, because the Ashkenaz have moved to Riverdale, have moved to the Five Towns, have moved to Tina and Englewood, and there are some fine schools that have come up along the way. Frisch and SAR, and Ramaz is better, and Kushner. So the Ashkenaz don't live, the modern Orthodox Ashkenaz do not live in Brooklyn, New York, as much. I mean, there's some, but
That's
not.
interesting.
Yeah.
And a little louder, David.
The Hebrew teachers were what we call maskilim. Those who came from Russia mainly. They had no education courses, which was the big advantage. They were terrific teachers. They knew their stuff. They weren't handicapped by all these educational courses.
That's right.
That's coming from a college professor.
Yeah.
David, you didn't feel that you didn't feel ever that they were out of touch.
College professors who have never taught a class in their lives who are telling teachers how to teach.
Right. That's the downside of today's education. Oh, and that's a debate in education as a whole.
Right.
I mean, generally, but
Youth were dormant until he came here now.